Next question. So Jocko posted a Twitter post, Instagram, Twitter, Twitter and
both.
Instagram post of a picture, black and white, strangely. And
That's sort of my gig.
yeah, your thing. Of just the mats, and I think there were some ambiguous figures. I think it was Dean, right, teaching somebody. Anyway, he talked about he learned a lesson or something like that. Anyway, so the question is, Jocko, what lesson did you learn for the 1,000th time? Because he said that.
It was.
In training with Dean the other day. So what was that lesson?
The lesson was rules. Rules must sometimes be broken. So let me give you the quick story for those of you that are jiu-jitsu players. I will indulge you a little bit with some jiu-jitsu. So Friday night training, and Dean and I usually train hard on Friday nights, and we had a war. We had a little death match on Friday, and it started off. We went probably 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes, and he got me in a little situation that forced me to submit. And then I was like, all right, let's go again. And so we went again, and I wore him down, and I got the better of him. And actually, the deeper water I take him into, the better things get for me, right? Mm-hmm. So I wore him down, and I got a hold of his arm, and I had him in a compromised position for probably 5 minutes, and he at the last moments, great timing, and he just got out.
Armbar?
It was a straight arm lock.
Straight.
And so he got out, and when he got out, he was done. He was like, yeah, I'm done. I mean, he got out of it, but he was done. So Jocko got a little moral victory, right? And then I kind of antagonized him a little bit, which is what Dean and I do. We instigate and we antagonize each other. And so I antagonized him a little bit about, you don't want to train anymore. Oh, because you're too broken down. I'm going to stay here and train more. Right. You can go home and, have a glass of warm milk or whatever, just giving him a hard time. Mm-hmm. So, inside, and I failed to recognize this inside psychologically, he was not happy about that. Mm-hmm. And so Saturday, he's like, hey, let's train. And so I missed that. It's a cue. That's a red flag. Mm-hmm. So when I showed up, he says, oh, let's just work some moves. And we went over some stuff and working some other people. And, we're just we were very relaxed, laid back. There was no class going on. We're just relaxing. And I said, hey, man, I got to leave at such and such a time. I got to go pick one of my kids up. He goes, yeah, no problem. He goes, I got to leave too. So now I think he's got to leave. So I'm actually thinking like we might get a light roll, and that'll be it. Maybe like 2 5-minute rounds. So, and he's got the, the nice guy face and all that stuff that he's given me. So anyways, I said, we worked on some stuff. Then he says, all right, let's roll real quick. He even threw that out there. Like it was just going to be a quick roll.
Real quick.
Yeah, just a quick roll. So I'm thinking 2 or 3 minutes. I'm thinking 2 or 3 minutes, like to go over maybe and try some of the stuff we were just drilling a little bit. Mm-hmm. No, he comes full on. Mm-hmm. I mean, and it was disguised full on. So he didn't, get, but he just went very sternly and passed my guard really quick, and actually, you and I had discussed this mount escape that I had done to him the other day, and I was actually like, oh, I don't really care if he mounts right now. I've got this new escape, and I'll just use that. And he aggressively mounted, and he aggressively went for this move that we call the snow angel, which is when you get the person's arms up like a snow angel, like up above their head from the mount, and it's just horrible.
And pinned there, yeah.
Like and they're pinned above. There. Yeah, way above. You have no leverage. You can't move. And so not only get me in snow angel, you got me in double snow angel. So both my arms are stuck up there. Now, what was bad about this was there was a moment, okay, and this is the rule that I learned because after we broke it down. So Dean kept me there for, probably 7 minutes. In double snow angel, which is just a nightmare because he's not just holding me there. He's like saying things, he's antagonizing me, and I'm sitting there just wanting to kill him. Yeah. And I actually forget how it ended. I don't remember if he went for an arm lock and he got it, or if he went and I got out. I forget how it ended because it's kind of a big blur, which most of my rules are. But anyways, the rule is, and I don't want to go into too much detail just because it'll get too technical and too hard to, do through an audio podcast. But, basically, I don't let my elbow cross the other person's sternum. I don't let it go across their sternum, because if it does, you can get pinned there. You get stuck there. So there was a moment where when Dean was trying to move me into Snow Angel, where I should have sacrificed and done like a drastic movement that's a major breaking of that rule, and turned to my side really hard and put my elbow across his sternum, and it would have gotten me out. And as we looked at it, because once I was out, then we went over it for a few minutes just to try and analyze what happened. And I realized that, that I had held on to this rule of mine, even though part of me was like, you know what, should I try it? And I didn't try it. And so then I got in worse position. So the lesson learned is that sometimes you got to break your rules. Now, the thing is, it's not just jiu-jitsu, right? It's not just jiu-jitsu. It's about business. It's about life. It's about relationships. It's about not getting stuck in a rut. And it's about being able, because it's another thing is I was in my own head. I didn't detach from the situation. I didn't look at it from another position and say, okay, this is getting worse right now. I just was stuck there mentally. So you got to think, you got to think about your rules objectively, and I didn't do that. And it's a rule that has saved me many times, but this time it cost me dearly. So don't let your rules rule you. You gotta keep ruling your rules. Don't let your rules rule you.
Yeah, another way to kind of look at that is like a black and white mind. You like, don't stick. Your mind is more or less black and white, for sure. Well, as far as how you think, generally speaking, but don't neglect the gray.
Yeah.
There's so much gray in there. And of course, if you have rules and they're solid rules, man, stick to those rules. But like I said, don't neglect the gray.
Yeah.
You know how you say you got to break a rule every once in a while. Don't be just, hey, rules are meant to be broken. Let's just break it. Don't do that.
Some people use that as a excuse just to do whatever they
right?
want.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're wrong too. They lack the discipline.
Yep.